All honor, all glory, all praises be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. I labeled this gradualism. I just made a post about this. I said, hey man, I want to tell a quick little lesson, a quick little lesson on it. So this says right here, app required to verify Quebec Bottle Depot returns. Okay, so with that app comes identification. All right, comes identifying who's returning what and how much money they're getting. All right, so you see that the whole system is already heading toward everything being digital, the paper money being erased, physical coin being erased, and everything's moving to that digital money, digital assets, digital. Right now they said that a large percentage of the society over here in Canada, all right, about 80%, 70%, they're using credit card and bank card and so on and so forth. So they've achieved their goal. Okay, remember they used to say money is dirty and it can be stolen and there's drug residue on it and so people get sick from touching it, so on and so forth. We're wasting trees, resources to make this money, so they have achieved their goal. Okay, and how they achieve that goal? They achieve that goal through gradualism, because tell that shit to your grandfather's grandfather, they would have laughed in your face. And they even warned about that. Okay, they even warned about that. There's so much different YouTube videos that goes into that, where it's showing farmers, just the average man of America or whatever, working, black or white, talking about, the government soon enough taking away things that are physical, and look what point we're at today. This is why these scriptures are prophetic. Okay, the Lord's word don't come back on to him void, and this is why we're giving out the warning while there's still time, But anyways, going back into this. So with that app and with the Internet of Things, we'll go into that. You can be identified. Okay, Esau Edom wants to be as God. He wants to control you. He wants to know everything you're doing. Okay, every little transaction you're doing. So like I said, with this app comes, them identifying what you're doing, who you are, how much money you received, right? How often you go there. All that statistics is there, okay, upon you. Now, when it comes to like paper, dollar, and cash, you didn't really need no ID to go over there and do that. Right now I could pick up a whole bunch of bottles off the street, wherever, because I see people doing that. They roll around, they make cash off of that too. They might have a job, no job, whatever. But I know some guys some years ago, they had a little truck and they would throw bottles and bottles. Yeah, even the guy that used to be preaching with me out there on the highways and byways, him and his cousin used to do that. Okay, and while I'm talking to the brother, we're going through scriptures and so on and so forth, all I could hear is a bunch of cans being crushed. I was like, damn, and he himself said, yo, bro, you can make, there's a lot of money off of this, right? So you could do that and they wouldn't even know who you are. You walk in there, receive $1,000, walk out. $100, walk out. Okay. One time I returned so much cans. I returned about, I think like 200. One time I returned 500 cans. That's money right there. 10 cents a can. You do the math. 20, 50 bucks, right? And I think even one time before that, it was even more. Just kept saving them. I said, no, just keep saving them, But through gradualism, here we're at today. App required to verify, you returning your fucking empties and bottles. Okay? Gradualism. Okay? Gradualism is a belief or policy that change happens slowly through small steps over time rather than by sudden large jumps. Okay, and this is the way that Esau gets you. Okay, this is part of the wiles, the trickery of him. It will exhaust you. This is what I think. It says that they shall think to wear out the saints. But if you're a part of that elect, you will not become disenchanted, you know? So with this right here, as you see, it's a slow change, okay? Organisms slowly adapt to their surroundings over long periods, okay? So this man studied this. He goes deep. Scriptures even tell you that both the inward thought of every one of them is deep. They do a diligent search, okay? Roughly phrasing, they do a diligent search, and both the let me get it. Instead of just, let me get it. You're dealing with the devil, man. The Lord has given this world into his hand. Slack here. What is it, 262? They do a diligent search, that's 4. Yep, 6. Psalm 64 and verse 6, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, right? And it said that what? These organisms, slow change, organisms slowly adapt to their surroundings over long periods. So Esau knows this. He does a diligent search. He watch history, right? He go through the history books, right? And he keeps good records. Okay? Remember Willie Lynch, How to Make a Good Slave and all those things. He keeps good records, man. Okay? But these changes that he makes, he knows 2 and 3 generations, watch, I'll have it, you know? So going back into that, what was I looking at? Yeah. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, okay? And then they say that they're wiser than Daniel, okay? But in this time, we have the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua upon us, and we can see Esau's tricks popping up here and there. We see, we're not falling for his tricks. You're not going to deceive the elect, okay? So though you may be wise to do wickedness, okay, scriptures tell you that there is no wisdom. Let me get that too. You thinking that you wise, you thinking that you nice and deep, right? But our wickedness, hey, let me see, it's not here. Oh, it's back to 19, Slack, yeah. Let me get that. Or you saw Edom, they do these diligent searches, right? Sirach chapter 19 and 22, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence, right? And remember, the Lord set the bounds of this man. He can't go beyond that. Okay, this is why he's as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour, man. Okay? Walk around as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. You know, these elites know their end is coming. But the rest of Esau, Edom, you know, the peons, they don't know that, right? So they thinking, yeah, we're going to make this digital system come in. It's going to be good for us. Yeah. You know? And the elites know, man. The elites are trembling in the boot. That's why we always tell them, yo, you're brave, push the button then. Go out and push the button, man. But they know, you know, in the heart they know, man. They're just trying to find some way to tippy-toe around it. And you can't tippy-toe around it, okay? And you may try to drag it out, but the Lord put you on a time schedule. He set the bounds of you, okay? So the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. So though they may be wise, you know, though they may have that knowledge, it's not of true wisdom, okay? It's of wickedness. So going back into this, I want to get a scripture here. It's Slack, one up there. Let me go back to this now. So yeah, organisms slowly adapt to their surroundings over long periods, okay? Gradualism is the belief or policy that change happens slowly through small steps over time, rather than by sudden large jumps, okay? So, and you know, Esau Edom studies the animals to make these things, these planes and boats and so on and so forth. So why wouldn't he study us? Why wouldn't he study organisms? Why wouldn't he, you know, try to find out, you know, what works best for them? Because you already know When a military police come into place and just bomb right there, the people are on alert. They're scared. They're like, yo, what's going on? If you're to bring out in that time where our grandfathers and so on and so forth was around, that, yeah, this money is going to go digital, they would rebel. They would fight. Every one of them. But Esau wants, the momentum. He wants the minds of the people to be on his side. So they say, yeah, I'm taking that, Yeah, I'm going to take that. That makes sense. The money's dirty. People could rob you, Or I take a brain MOTB. All I got to do is think about sending you the money and you got it. This is part of his miracles, not just the nuclear bombs, but also this system. Okay, these phones, the Urim Thummim, the modern day Urim Thummim. This is part of what, hey, remember the Lord is the one that controls your mind, man. Right? So this is part of his own destruction. Okay? So anyways, going back into this, let's go. Political and society step-by-step reform, fixing problems or changing laws through legal, slow shifts rather than sudden revolutions. Yeah. Control progress, used in social and economic policies to keep stable while reaching a new goal. Right. Because you don't want to suddenly change things, right? Because you got to slowly change the minds of these people, and they'll go for that policy. Yeah. It's right, because that's why I had that scripture up there. Let me get this real quick. Sirach chapter 19 and verse 26. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he's full of deceit. So going back into those policy changes, Esau, Edom will have mercenaries go into these countries and do things deliberately to have his policy, put in place, okay? So let's say a policy like going back into the money situation, right? Esau, Edom will have a place. Let's just say it's a 15-minute city. Esau, Edom will send people in there to rob people, right? Very same thing he's been doing right now. Send people in to rob people, man. Take their money, take the cash, and do it over a decade. And you're going to see how fast these people's minds change. When you start introducing new policies saying, hey, there's been a rise of crime. People have been stealing old people's money and so on and so forth. We want to make our things digital. Do you think that the society is going to say no? The society is going to say, yeah, that's a good idea, man. Every time I'm coming home from the bank, bam, best be sure, rob, police get robbed, people get, yeah. And Esau, Edom will send in those mercenaries, think out wicked things to do. Send those mercenaries just to have that policy backed by the people, okay? So there's a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he's full of deceit, casting down his constance, and making as if he heard not. Where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware, right? So if you're not even thinking about Esau, Edom doing those things, government won't do that to us. Oh yeah. And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. When he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. That's the part of the gradualism that you don't see, until you're knee deep in the shit. Okay? This is why we tell you, be careful with this man. This is a wicked man. Okay? When this man do all he can do, right? To force you into those policies, that's that opportunity right there. When he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. Evil to who? Himself. Even the rest of the peon Edomites below him. Obviously to us and these other nations, man. That's why the scriptures tell you that if the Lord don't return fast enough, no flesh should be saved. Okay? This guy's the master of disaster. All he thinks about is wickedness. Okay? And doing wickedness. All right? How to control the world and get, So it goes into this microchip. Integrated circuit is a tiny piece of semiconductor silicone holding electronic circuits. Okay, and it goes into the phones, computers, so on and so forth. But this is what I really want to get at the bottom. PET microchips, size of a large grain of rice, placed under the skin by a vet. Now, you know what I want you to replace those words with, right? Pet, you could replace that, and vet, you could replace that, okay? You know who would put that underneath your skin, so you could replace it for yourself. But we keep telling you this man's gonna force the world to take this MOTB, okay? And this is how he started. Don't you want to know where your pet is? It got lost, so on and so forth. Little lassie showing kids on TV crying, putting up propaganda, right? And kids crying, blue-eyed, blonde-haired little girl crying for her dog, in a picket fence, perfect place in America, and her dog's lost, Oh me, oh my, cry for her. And then in the next scene, they show you, oh, we found her, we brought her to the vet, and we gave her the MOTB. Now we don't have to be worried. We could find her anywhere she is. Somebody finds her, they can have her scanned, and they return her to us, So use your head, okay? They're going to force us to take the MOTB, okay? Leading back into this right here, gradualism. Esau Edom wants to know everything. How much bucks you making, where you going, how you getting there, how you got there, who is with you, okay? Because everybody's going to be connected to this, the Internet of Things. Once you take that MOTB, brain MOTB, however you want to say it, that's it. You're going to be obviously connected to the Internet of Things, okay? Internet of Things, the Internet of Things, lot, is a network of physical, am I seeing that right? It looks like it says lot, but IoT, the IoT. But it's very funny. It looks like it says Lot. And look at the topic that we're dealing with. Look at Lot's wife, right? Anyways, is a network of physical objects embedded with sensors, software, and network connectivity. This technology lets everyday items like smart thermostats, wearable fitness, so on and so forth, collect and exchange data over the internet without needing human help, okay? Sensors gather real-time data from the physical environment, connectivity, send this data to the cloud or other devices, Bluetooth, cellular network, automation, process the information and trigger an action automatically, like turning you off, like turning off lights or adjusting home temperatures or the damn temperature in your body, okay? Because remember, this man wants to be as God. When you put that MOTB in you, okay, you take that MOTB, that's it, man. The brain MOTB, remember, that's it. Remember, your brain already is a computer. It sends electric signals, right? And here it is, you're putting another electric thing in there, which is connected to the Internet of Things. You don't think you're going to be hacked? Even when you take the MOTB in the hand, okay? In the forehead or hand, right hand. Either way, you take that, that's it. You can be controlled, man. That thinking, it's electronic. Your brain works off electronic signals, man. So here it is, you fuck around one day, say something or think something even wrong. You get shut out of the system. They say, fuck this, we're gonna collect this nigga. Shut him down right there on the streets. Your motor skills get shut off. Your speech gets shut off. Or they make you say something. Bring me to the closest police station for I have violated the 10th Amendment law, of the digital system. That's it. Well, people ignorant, man. You're ignorant. You're fucking ignorant, man. Let's get into this. You're ignorant. Just ignorant, man. Just ignorant. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. That's an unrighteous decree. Lord told us don't put no markings and cuttings in our skin, you know, and that's the modern day old. All right, so you're showing that who you pay homage to. You're saying basically Esau's my Lord when you take that. Okay. So, anyways, that's an unrighteous decree, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Right, these policies, and the policy to take the MOTB. The policy to change it to an app so everybody is known who's bringing back these cans. Okay, this is the same thing written in Daniel, and this is going into the time of Antiochus, if I'm not mistaken, because we always gotta, verify, but you can use it still for this time because let's read it. Daniel chapter 8 and 25, and through his policy, right, the policies that's written into law that says, hey, you guys, change up that fucking they want to do it in Toronto too, so everybody in Toronto brace yourself. Okay, oh, you gotta have a digital app to go in this. Who don't have a cell phone nowadays? Okay, who don't got some access to the digital system? The numbers are very high, and the numbers for even homeless people have cell phones, man. Okay, so pushing that policy is very easy for him, man. And through gradualism, slowly but surely, you're right in the playground, right? Look at everybody, like I said, 20 years ago, not everybody had a cell phone. Now your grandmother's grandmother got a cell phone, okay? Or damn near TV's digital, okay? Not those big box, bulky things that you used to have back in the 80s, man. UHS, UHF, you gotta get up and change the channel, clock, 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 right? Rotary phone, you gotta go to the 2, you gotta hold it and go to the 2. I remember those phones. I used to love playing with those phones. Call people by accident sometimes. Okay? No more of that. Now the phone could hold numbers. Because I remember at a time when gradualism, once again, when they brought out these digital phones and you could see the number on there, you had 5 programmable. At first, I think it was like 1 or 3 programmable numbers. Then all of a sudden it was like 10, right? And then it was like a Rolodex that you could put in there over 100 numbers. Then all of a sudden it became Beyonce was behind this too. The phone connected to the internet, and you can actually see. It was like 2006, 7. I can't remember the name of it, man. She had even a song about it too. And you could see the person on the phone, but it was on the phone itself, right? Now, I'm not talking about cell phone. I'm talking about a house phone, okay? I can't remember the name of it. If you brothers remember, put it up there. But that's all forms of gradualism, okay? So, through his policy, also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, okay? So, that's what he's doing right now. It's prospering in his hand, all right? Remember, this man's in his power seat. Yep, Job 9:24. This man is in his power seat. Okay, of course it's going to prosper in his hand. Okay, he was set up. We'll get that. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. We're the judges. Okay, we're the true judges of this earth. He covered the face. Renaissance period took down our faces, put it up his own. All right, cast out the image. The image of our Lord was X'd out. Okay. If not, where and who is he? So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. In Revelation, tells you that, right? Revelation 6:4, there went on another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. That's him, okay? And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. That's what he rules with right now. The same blessing going back into Genesis 27 that his father gave him, man. Okay, Genesis chapter 27 verse 40, and by thy sword shall thou live. Okay, by thy sword shall thou live. All right, That's why going back into Revelation, it says that he had that great sword and he went out to do what? Okay? And it was given him that sat thereon to take peace from earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. That great sword is to do what? To go over to these nations and conquer them, take them out. Okay? So the Lord, could set him up. It tells you in Revelation that, he's going to be bound for 1,000 years. He came out after that 1,000 years, Renaissance period, and he must what? Be loose for a little season. This is his little season. Okay? And his little season is almost over. That's why this says this, Romans chapter 13 and verse 1, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh, the powers that be ordained of Yahweh. Let me read that again. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh. The powers that be are ordained of Yahweh. So who's ever in the power seat, okay, that's ordained of the Most High. The Most High put them in that power seat. The Most High gives them those miracles and tools and, the little trinkets, right? He gives them that, right? But guess what? He also takes them down. Okay, set up one, take down another, so on and so forth. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resisted the ordinance of Yahweh. So if you trying to take out Esau like Theodos, okay, he went against the Romans, right? And he went on the great taxation and so on and so forth. The burdens that these people were putting on us, he got frustrated. Remember, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. He said, fuck this. Got a band of 400 men, so on and so forth, and went to go take, and he was taken the fuck out. I think he was beheaded or something too. I did a lesson on that. But anyways, or you could just go to the David Guzak, read the commentary about it, or go to the AI and they'll tell you. And that was it for his ass. Okay, because the Most High, what he wants to play out, as it tells you by time, you had measured the time, so on and so forth. Let's get this real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and 37, by measure he have measured the times, and by number he have numbered the times, and he doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So who the hell are you to try and step up and try to, take down them when it's not their time to go down? Okay, you're gonna be sore in trouble. Okay, so whosoever therefore resists the power, resisteth the ordinance of Yahweh, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. Okay, that's what happened to the thing. He was judged. He was taken out. Okay, because the Lord it's not this time. It's not that time. Okay. And Romans chapter 15 and verse 4, these things are written aforetime for what? For our learning. Okay? In your souls possess ye patience. Okay, the Lord is the one that's going to be doing the ass whooping. Okay? So, as long as we follow the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and don't let anything of Esau supersede the way of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we're good. Just follow the laws of the land. Don't speed when you're going down the street. Don't walk into a store and steal, etc. It's very simple, okay? But the powers that be from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right, are going to implement this MOTB, okay? That's where it's heading, all right? Yep, let's get that real quick. Revelation chapter 2 and 10, and then we'll go to 3 and 10. Fear none those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. See? They're going to tempt you with that. They're going to tempt you with that MOTB. They're going to lock you up here, eat this shitty ass bread, And it's not 10 days. It's just like actual 10 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's just a duration of time, man. Just giving you an example. It could be 20. It could be 20 days. It could be fucking a month, 2 months, 3 months. Okay? Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay? You're going to be tried, man. Okay? They're going to try and, they're going to, trust me, they're going to use some individuals. Okay? They're going to use some individuals, look, with Eleazar, the same situation, Romans 15 verse 4, Eleazar, they tried to get him to eat that pork, and they wanted him. Okay, the reason why they wanted him, because Eleazar was a well-respected man. Okay, and on top of that, if you get this well-respected man, this man that goes by the scriptures, sheweth evil, if you get him to actually eat the pork and stand there before the congregation and show him eating that pork, wow, you know, that'll change thousands of minds of Israelites, right? So they even begged him, take something like chicken or take your own meat, your own provisions, and come up there and just eat it before the people, you know? It ain't gotta be pork, don't worry. He said, nah, I ain't doing that shit, man. You know, a man of my age, you crazy? Get out of here. I'm going to hold to my integrity, you know? Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. See? I'm going to hold to my integrity. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. And that's oikoumene. Okay? That is in the oikoumene sense. Meaning the whole entire inhabited earth. Let's get that real quick. World, oikoumena, the whole world, okay? Not just the cosmos, but the whole world, all right? So going back into this, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, oikoumene, to try them that dwell upon the earth, okay? That hour is coming, okay? Where, yeah, you're going to take you up, put you in concentration camps, put you in the hole, you know? When you're in prison, they got a place called the hole, if you don't know. That's a whole nother place, you know, a whole, no pun intended, that's a whole nother place you don't want to be, okay? Slide razor blades underneath the thing, cut your wrists, you know? Yo, we gonna get you, you know? All types of shit, you know, just to force you to take that MOTB, you know? But the Lord say, hey, because you kept my word, don't worry. I'm going to put the spirit upon you not to take it, okay? But the rest of the people in the world, they're going to take it. And they're going to be destroyed. Because remember, like the scripture says here, Revelation 12 and 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Okay? You know that the time is short for his wrath. Okay? This is why, you know, he's moving the way he's moving. Even though he knows the time is short, he's using this technique called gradualism. You know, maybe you won't take it, but your kids and your kids' kids will take it when he uses that technique. Because what? He does what? With gradualism. He studies the organism, okay? As it says here. You know, slow change, organisms slowly adapt to their surroundings over long periods. So he uses that slow change. Your mom didn't want it, your dad didn't want it. Your grandfather didn't want it, but you see it as cool. You see it as something that perfectly fits, you know? Why I gotta count all this fucking money? Put it into the machine. Boom, you know? Why I gotta count all this money? Put it into a bank form, a digital bank form. Send my 1,000 digital. I don't have no bag of money on me. You crazy? Yo, don't even bother with that. Just use your brain. Send it to me. Oh shit! I see the alert. My brain's telling me you just put 1,000 into my bank. I could go physically check it now on my phone. Oh, see, there it is. You know, and with all them eyeball lens things, you know, they give you contact lenses, digital contact lenses to interface with the brain MOTB or even the MOTB in your head. And you can see that right before your eyes. Sir Charles just sent you $1,000 if your brain didn't pick it up, which it will, if you have the brain MOTB or regardless, right? Sir Charles just sent you $1,000. You know how cool these kids are gonna think that is, you know. I mean, even on another you know, on a righteous, level. If you were to think something without the brain MOTB, don't get it twisted. I'm thinking to send my sister $2,000 right now. The next thing you know, my sister call me and say, "Yeah, I got the 2,000." Say, "All right, cool, good." That of course that seemed cool to kids, right? Right? Then even just think about it at a spiritual level. Yeah. Hey, don't worry, I'm gonna send you that. Poof, I got it, bro. You ain't even gotta pick up a phone. Back in my brain. I got it, bro. Oh, okay, good. I sense you from here, and you're galaxies away. And this is what Esau wants. He wants it. He doesn't want it spiritually. He wants it carnally. Okay? He wants it carnally. All right? So, what it say? Organisms slowly adapt to their surroundings over long periods. Okay, so this thing right here, your grandfather probably wouldn't use this, but he'd be forced now because all these policies have changed. He's causing craft to prosper in his hand, right? Through his policies and all those things, right? Passing these laws and so on and so forth. So now you see out here, this whole world is moving towards the digital system, man. And all through gradualism, So with that, Akim, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide. And a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you're edified, Lord willing, to the next time. Akim, shalom, and abad babam.